If you've played fantasy tabletop role-playing games for a while, you've probably had a character die. It sucks. You might have invested days, weeks, months, years in that character. They may have gone from first level, heck, in some systems it might have started out as a 0-level character and went all the way up to 10th. But it's over. It's finished. But there's still a lot more game to play. There's still a lot more ahead of the group as far as the campaign goes. But you're faced with a few things. What happens to your fallen character? You have to create a new one. What's the rules around creating a new character? Especially if the group is 4th or 5th level, you have to re-roll a new one. Where do you start? What kind of gear do you have? And then you roll up the new character. How does the game master incorporate you into the group? In this video, I'm going to go over something that Outcast Silver Raiders has. It's a popular OSR type fantasy role-playing game that I'm currently playing, and it's got a way to handle all of those things. I'm going to share them here because you can incorporate them into your own fantasy tabletop role-playing game, and it will solve many of those problems. So let's get to it. Character's bitten the big one, no question. Then what happens? In some groups that I've been in, the players loot the body, leave your corpse to rot, and then they go on with the adventure. You create your character, your new character, and then the game master sticks you in a closet in the dungeon, and lo and behold, the next room that the group explores, here's something in the closet, opens up the door, and there's your new character. Help me! Can I join your party? Now, do they have a weapon? Are they equipped? Does the party trust them? Ugh. One thing the party could do, the surviving members, is a Glorious Remembrance. It's kind of apropos. They've adventured with this character for months, years maybe. It's something to honor their life. Glorious Remembrance is a bit on the lavish side. It could be taking their corpse to their homeland, back to their next of kin. Perhaps it's building them a tomb, something ornate, elaborate. Perhaps it's taking a longboat, putting their body in it, lighting it on fire, and sailing it down the river to eternal peace. If they do opt to do a Glorious Remembrance, it takes a few days to happen, equal to the level of the fallen character, minimum. So if they're a 4th level character, it's going to take them at least 4 days. Depending on the details of that Glorious Remembrance, the game master may actually increase the amount of time it takes for the party to perform it or execute it. In addition to that, the party has to spend a certain amount of currency to make it all happen. Maybe it costs money to travel back. Maybe it costs money to have somebody make the tombstone or the tomb for the fallen character. The party can donate up to 25% of the fallen character's experience points in silver or gold. In Outcast Silver Raiders, the currency is silver, but yours may be gold, what have you. So with that spend, they can apply 1-for-1, whatever amount of silver or gold applies to one experience point that can be put forth towards the new player character. Not too bad. Well, that's fine. It doesn't have to be all of it. It doesn't have to be the max. Heck, some player characters don't even have that much money. But nonetheless, that's an option. Now what do? Well, still have to create a new character. There is another option that can be in addition to the Glorious Remembrance or in substitution of the Glorious Remembrance. And that is naming an heir. In Outcast Silver Raiders, any player character can choose to have a retainer equal to the amount of their charisma modifier. So they can have multiple retainers. There's laborers and mercenaries. Mercenaries cost more per session than a laborer. Mercenaries are also a little bit more combat effective. But let's face it, most of the time they're going to be carrying gear so that your player character isn't encumbered. But in Outcast Silver Raiders, those retainers, one of them can be an heir to your player character's estate. You can have multiple retainers, but only one heir at any given time. If an heir is created or named, upon the character's death, the heir inherits all of their worldly possessions, all their treasure, all their magic, all their equipment. Easy peasy done. And also, Because they're a retainer, they've probably been adventuring with the party for some time. So there isn't any weird trying to squeeze a new character into a new party. The trust factor is really eliminated at that point because the retainer's probably been through some stuff with the group. If you decide to take one of those retainers and have them as an heir and convert them into a new player character, you would then re-roll the retainer based on the character generation rules of the system. If the new character is of the same class of the dead character, you can apply up to 50% of the fallen character's experience points to the new character. If they are of a different class, then you can only contribute up to 25% of the total experience points of the dead character to the new one. Now, with the Glorious Remembrance, as well as the heir, they can be separate or they can be combined. In other words, if you have a Glorious Remembrance and an heir, well, then you can apply the 25% and the maximum 50%, assuming they're the same class, and start off at a relatively reasonable experience point level. They've already been incorporated into the group, so that solves that problem. What do you think? Pretty good? Would you use this in your game if you don't have this type of system in place? Let me know down in the comments. If you don't think this is something for your group, or perhaps your game master has a different method or a different approach, put that down in the comments as well. Share with others. We may all learn something new and unique. If you want to know more about Outcast Silver Raiders, check out this video right here. It tells you a little bit more about the rules and things of that nature. I hope you liked this video. Thanks for taking the time. Remember, be a positive force in the tabletop RPG hobby, and I'll see you on the next one.